Awesome. All right. So I want to thank you all for coming on tonight. This is, like I was just telling you guys, this is one of my favorite things to do. I love being able to see your faces and to kind of share our passion and our energy with you guys, because that's really what this business is all about. Like the people that you get to work with, the people that you interact with every day, there's nothing like it. And we're a pretty awesome community of people. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing. I'm going to make sure it's up. A little PowerPoint for you guys. A lot of it we went over already, but I just want to go through it all with you guys again, just in case there are any questions, or maybe you didn't have a question before and you have one now, then we can kind of go over that. All right. I can't see you guys. All right. Can someone just like tell me if they see? Okay, there we go. For some reason it wasn't popping up. All right, I can see you guys now. Perfect. Okay, so if you don't know why you're here, we're here to tell you all about the world of coaching. You're going to hear from some really awesome coaches on this webinar, and you're going to hear from me a lot. Sorry about it. Yeah, we're going to share pretty much everything about what we do. Get all of your questions answered. So if you guys have any questions as we go through this, or when we start asking if you have questions, if you're uncomfortable unmuting yourself, feel free to type it. There's this little chat box at the bottom. If you're on your computer, it says chat. Feel free to just type your questions in there and we'll cover them all at the end. We're going to have a panel of 4 coaches, all in different stages of their business. They're on this picture here, and they'll be able to answer some of your questions, and I can pipe in as well. So let's see. There we go. Okay, so I already shared my journey with you guys in the event page, but I wanted to kind of just touch on it again for anybody that missed it. My story really started with my physical transformation. I started after my daughter was born. The picture on the left is my trigger picture, you can call it, I guess. It was right before I was about to have my first daughter, Lily, who is now 4. And I was mortified by that picture. I was so self-conscious. I was in a really, really bad place. So I was starting from scratch. I didn't have any background in health and fitness at all. And so I just kind of jumped in. I did a bunch of different things. And then I eventually plateaued, and I found Beachbody. So I was able to get off my plateau with Beachbody. I did T25, Focus T25 with Shaun T and Shakeology, and I got off my plateau. So this is a little bit of just a little glimpse into my personal physical transformation. I lost over 50 pounds. I'm still on my weight loss journey, actually, but I'm healthier than I've ever been in my entire life. And then my Beachbody career actually started while I was pregnant with my second daughter, Valerie. She was born in July of 2014, but I had started coaching January of 2014. I was miserable working. I hated being away from my kids. It was awful. So when I started coaching, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I knew that that's where I wanted to take this, was to the point where I could be home with my kids. So I started in January 2014. I set a goal of 1 year, that 1 year later I would be home with my kids, and I actually did that. I actually accomplished that. I quit my job end of January 2015 and was home officially February 10th of 2015. And the journey, it has been so incredible. If you would have asked me, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, or you told me that I was going to be, a health and fitness coach, I would have laughed at you, because that is just not who I thought I was going to be. Or if you would have said I'd be involved in some sort of network marketing, I would have thought you were crazy, because that just wasn't for me. Like, that's not who I am. That's non-traditional. Like, I'm all about go to school, you get a good job, you work until you're 65, and that's that. And this is so not like that. And but it's been incredible, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like I said, I'm home with my kids. I work with an incredible team of people. We were actually a 2015 premier team, which was incredible. We're ranked in the top 0.1% of the entire company. I'm surrounded by rock stars. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, so we kind of covered in the event page already, what a Beachbody coach is and what
Danielle,
yeah.
Really quick, you have a pop-up that says Google Drive is now full. Allow or exit.
Sorry. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oops. Now it's gonna. All right. There we go. Cool. Thanks. Okay. So we covered in the event page, what a Beachbody coach is and what a Beachbody coach isn't. But just real quick, there's a lot of really big misconceptions out there about what a Beachbody coach is and what they aren't. So this is just a little overview of that. A Beachbody coach is somebody just who helps people, somebody who genuinely cares, somebody who likes Beachbody products. And even if you haven't tried a Beachbody product yet yourself, you're willing to try it, you're open to new things, you want to, progress your own journey and find, your own positivity and your own path. Maybe you want to discount, and you believe in the possibility that it holds. We are not people who want to get rich quick. Like, this business is totally something that you have to work at. It's not going to be given to you. You have to come in and you have to work. We all start at the same place. You can't hope that you're going to get results without any effort. It's just like anything else. If you want to lose weight and get healthy, you have to do the work. You have to eat right. You have to exercise. You have to do it. Like, there's no quick fix. There's no easy way around it. And you definitely are not going to stay in your comfort zone. This business has pushed me so far outside my comfort zone, but I've grown so much as a person and as a leader. It's absolutely incredible. I would never want to stay in my comfort zone knowing what I know now. We are not perfectionists, believe me. None of us are, perfect with our own health and fitness, but we're focused on bettering ourselves and constantly progressing. I shared this too, but the beauty of this business is you're the CEO of your business. So you get to decide where you fall on this chart. Some people start out as discount coaches, meaning they literally just want to save 25% on their Shakeology or their products. Some people are part-time coaches, meaning they just, I also, compare that to like a hobby coach. So they'll share it with who they like, people once in a while, or here and there, but they're, they're doing their thing, and that this isn't their like career path. And then the other two are, working toward full-time coach and full-time coach, meaning, you're really going for it, and you maybe want to, fire your boss, and you want to do this full-time and really go for it, but whatever you decide, like, it's your decision. There's no quotas, no one's going to be making you do anything. Your upline, like whoever you sign up with, whoever invited you to this, they are just there to support you and to help you reach the goals that you've set for yourself. So if you have big goals, like I want to get out of my job, they're going to help you set benchmarks and goals to help you get to that point. But it's still your responsibility, and it's still your business. It's not, they're not going to hunt you down or anything like that. This is just some of the rewards that you get by being a coach. This company has rewarded me so much more than any company I've ever worked for in my entire life. I've worked for a lot of companies, okay? And all of them put together don't come close to what Beachbody has given us. Every year there's a free trip that anybody can qualify for. In about 2.5 weeks, my husband and my kids, we're all going on a cruise, and it's actually going to Jamaica and the Bahamas now. That lovely Zika virus or whatever it is. Not going to Haiti anymore, going to the Bahamas. But still, we're going on an all expense paid cruise to Jamaica and the Bahamas as a family. That's pretty awesome. Next year, we're going to Punta Cana, which is super awesome. Never been there. Super excited. We also have Coach Summit in July, which is in Nashville this year. It was last year as well. This past January, I was able to go to a leadership conference in LA. I'll be going to another leadership retreat in June in New Hampshire. There's all sorts of travel that you get exposed to through this company, which is pretty awesome. But again, you just have to do the work. They reward, your hard work. So if you're willing to put in the effort, there's rewards to be seen there. This is something we also covered, but it's an important one, so I want to touch on it again. And that's, what's the investment? This is your own business, so there is a little bit of an investment, but the best part about this business is the investment is in you. The only investment that you have to sign up to become a coach is your challenge pack. So whatever health and fitness program you choose and the flavor of Shakeology that you choose, that's it. It's free to enroll after that point. So super cheap, and you get to keep the stuff. So if you sign up as a coach right now with a challenge pack and you decide tomorrow that you don't want to be a coach, you get to keep your challenge pack and still work on your own health and fitness, which is pretty awesome. There's no inventory. People will buy through the website linked to your coach ID. and it'll go straight to them, kind of, that it won't come to you and you have to get it to them or anything like that. There is a business service fee every month. It's only $15.95. And that gives you access to all of the websites and your discount. And if you continue with Shakeology every month, you're still going to come out ahead because it saves you 25% in your Shakeology. You're going to come out like $17 ahead of where you would have been as a customer. So it's still pretty awesome. All the trainings that you receive are free. I offer exclusive training for my entire team. You'll get other additional trainings and things from corporate. So you'll have tons of resources at your disposal in terms of making sure that you can get started right and get what you need. Okay, so this is a big one. How we earn money. The real simple answer is by helping people change their own lives physically, personally, and financially. That's the really easy answer. If you set out to help people and to share how awesome these products are that you already love or will fall in love with, that's how we make money. Like that, you'll make money. But here's how the breakdown works. So part of it is 25% commission on any products that someone just buys the 21 Day Fix program from you, you'll get 25% commission on that. Challenge pack, you get a little bit more because you're giving them the whole picture. Like Beachbody encourages us to give them the fitness and the nutrition and the support. So they really encourage you to set people up with challenge packs because it gives them the whole picture and it almost ensures their success if they're willing to put in the work. A bigger part of your compensation, though, if you are really going for it, is building your own team. There's team effort, which builds your income. We actually call it passive income because as you help your team and they build their team, it benefits you, and you'll see, you'll get bonuses from Beachbody for that. There's team bonuses and quarterly bonuses. We get paid weekly. We get paid every Thursday. And you also have the potential to duplicate your business. So once I hit a certain rank in my business, I was actually able to open a second business center as myself, which just multiplies your income that much more, which gets kind of confusing when you're just starting out. But I do like to touch on that because that is a factor. Like as you keep growing your business, it does really build on itself. But one thing I really want to emphasize is there's no limit on your personal earning potential. So like if you signed up with me, you still have the option and the opportunity to out earn me. Like your success does not guarantee my success. Like you are the only factor in your success and your earning potential. Okay, so the next thing I want to share is just kind of my progress in my business, just to give a little snapshot at the earning possibilities. When I started January of 2014, so my first full month was February. I earned over $400 my first month. So I paid for my Shakeology, I paid for my husband's Shakeology, and I paid for a little bit more than that. About 1 year later, it quadrupled. So I made $2,000 that month. And then just a few months later, it was even more than that. So if you're willing to put in the work and you're really going for, oh geez, you guys can see that, sorry about it. If you're willing to put in the work, this business can take you really, really far. But like I said, you have to be willing to show up and you have to be willing to put in the work. But I think that's pretty incredible. It totally replaced my corporate salary, plus some actually. Okay, this is something I really, really want to focus on. Okay, so we kind of talked about how we're going to cover the 10 myths of coaching. A lot of people, when they hear about coaching or they hear about a network marketing business, they have a lot of assumptions about it, or there's a lot of misconceptions. So we wanted to cover 10 that we think are most common that people have, and a lot of us had. Like number one was one of mine. I am not in shape or at my goal weight. When I started coaching, I was pregnant. I still had about 50 pounds to lose. I had lost weight and I had seen success with Beachbody, but I was definitely not where I wanted to be. In fact, I almost quit because I was pregnant. I signed up and then I was going to quit. And my coach, my mentor, she talked to me and she was like, I really think you should, reconsider. She's like, that's not what coaching's all about. Coaching is sharing your story and connecting with people and helping them. She's like, it has nothing to do with you being at your goal weight, because that's the thing about coaching, is that you are going to inspire people based on your story, and your story isn't having six-pack abs necessarily. Your story's a lot bigger than that. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking, gosh, I'm not even working out right now, or I'm not even doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or I've fallen totally off track, like, don't let that discourage you. If anything, let that motivate you. Let it motivate you to get back on track. Let that be, like, ask people to join you. Like, okay, I'm going to recommit. Who wants to commit with me? Like, it doesn't have to be, you do it first and then help people. It can be you do it together and you're doing it as a team, which is pretty cool. The second piece is I don't have time. And Allie, I don't know if you can unmute yourself. I don't know. Are you on? I assume you're on. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, Allie's an Emerald coach on our team, and she's going to cover the piece about I don't have time.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the queen of I didn't think I had time, because I am a stay-at-home mom. I know people are like, well, what does she do all day? She stays at home. But with running back and forth to and from school, and then being home with the kids and making sure I have enough time and spending it on them, and getting all the other little things that I want to get done during the day, I never thought that I had time. So that was I always would try to find excuses, like I couldn't do it. But, the more I dug deep and learned a little bit more about this and picked Danielle's brain for help, I have to write these things down because I get nervous on this kind of stuff. So you basically have to, you just look at it as you have to break your day down. Everybody has the same amount of hours in every day. And I noticed that I did spend a lot of time on Facebook, kind of just like checking everybody else out, seeing what they're doing. But that's a lot of wasted time where I could have been doing a power hour, which is pretty, it's basically what it's all about. You take that hour and you work. You just do it. And that's all you really need in a day. And just, take a half an hour at night for yourself. You only need a half an hour to get a workout done. And that's what it's all about. It's just boils down to, it's all in your head. Everybody's got the time. You just got to make it. You got to make it a priority. If you really want it, you can go for it. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Allie. And she's exactly right that this business is what you make it. And this business, it's all up to you. Like we covered before about being your own CEO, is that this is totally up to you. So like if you can put in a half an hour to an hour a day, that will still grow your business. That's what I did. When I was working full time, I was doing my power hour is what we call it. It's just like, you commit for an hour and just focus on your business. Like you turn notifications off on Facebook, you don't answer your phone, like you just focus for an hour. I would do that while I was at work during my lunch hour, was my power hour, because like I could guarantee that I get 5 straight hours or 5 solid hours of work in a week. And then I would, do like a half an hour at night, maybe a little bit more on the weekend. And I was working about maybe 10 to 15 hours a week. But think about that. I worked 10 to 15 hours a week part-time on something that grew to the point that it replaced my corporate salary and I could stay home with my kids. Like, I think that's something I want to emphasize, that like, sure, you're thinking like, gosh, I don't have an hour in my day. I can promise you, you probably have more time in your day than you think. But also, like, it's just a matter of how important is this to you. Okay, so the next point is I'm not an expert in fitness or nutrition. And Sam is actually going to talk about, she's another Emerald coach on our team, and she's going to cover that one for us. Sam, if you want to unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. So I am not an expert at fitness or nutrition. So really, this is what I think is kind of the beauty of this opportunity, is that you don't have to be an expert. And really, I think it's good not to be an expert necessarily, and I'm sure you already are seeing this in your upline or whoever invited you here and how they're interacting with you. But it's really more about, offering support and listening to people, having them share their struggles, and you kind of having the compassion to share your own, being vulnerable with them, and just, it's kind of like a people business, I think. And really by you being a product of the product, as we like to say. So you doing your workouts, you drinking your Shakeology, you're right there being the expert because you're doing it with them. And really by using your experience and pulling on that, that's how you help others. As Danielle mentioned, you kind of, share your stories and you share, why you started and what your struggles are. And so really that's the big thing about it. It's about connecting people and hearing their stories, listening, not being any kind of expert. And then just pulling from your own experiences.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. That's exactly right. It's, you don't have to be an expert. Like we're not asking you to be a nutritionist. We're not asking you to be, a personal trainer. You're just, sharing your experience. It makes you relatable. And that's what people are looking for is a partner in this, is a partner in health and fitness, that you're, doing it together and that you can share your story and share what you've learned. Okay. So the next piece is the sign-up fees are too expensive. Katie Bradley is a relatively new coach on our team, but she's going to share what her thoughts are on that if she's on. Katie, are you able to unmute yourself?
Hey there.
Hi.
Hi. So my name is Katie. I'm a pretty new coach. I'm still working my way to Emerald, which you'll learn all about later. But this was one of those things that held me back for a little while. I was afraid of making an initial investment to become a coach. And finally, what really turned my perspective around was when Danielle told me it's really just an investment in yourself. You're buying a challenge pack and becoming a coach for no added cost. So all you're really doing is investing that money in your own health and in supporting your own journey. And then when you look at continuing your journey, because that should be the goal, whether it's, 21-day fix or PIO or Body Beast or whatever, your goal should be your long-term health. And if you want to continue that journey, becoming a coach makes sense because that $15.95 monthly business fee is still going to leave you coming out ahead with your discount on Shakeology every month. And so you're not just making an initial investment in yourself, you're making that ongoing investment in yourself. And I'd have to say it is the best bargain I have seen in terms of getting the whole picture for your own journey and getting the whole picture for your business. Because guys, trying to host your own websites for $15.95 a month, I mean, it's almost not possible unless you're a really techie guy like my husband. But for me, it wasn't possible for $15.95 a month, I can tell you that. So when you look at the whole picture, this myth is totally busted for me.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Katie. And I can tell you, I showed you what I made my first month in this business, and I'm not saying that everyone that comes in is gonna do that. But if that's your goal and you're gonna run and you're gonna do this, I will tell you, my sign-up fees paid for themselves within the first month. So if you're ready to go for it, that part should not scare you because that you're going to get that money back. And like she said, it's an investment in you. Okay. So the next piece is, I am not a salesperson. This is one of my favorite ones. And we're going to hear from Katie Ross, another Emerald coach on our team. Katie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey guys. All right, so my name's Katie, and I picked this one actually because I've been having conversations with people a lot lately and telling and expressing to people how much I love this because you don't have to sell anything. I am the worst salesperson. I would never enter sales. If I did, I wouldn't be doing this. I've never actually even been in that field, and I don't want to be. So I first and foremost just want to make that very clear. You don't have to sell a bunch of stuff. You don't have to make people buy anything. And I want you to think about who invited you to this, what made you interested, and was it that they were trying to sell you something? Did they tell you, hey, you should buy this stuff, it's really cool? Or hey, you should have a party and we can sell a bunch of stuff and you can make some money? I want you to really think about if that's what happened, if that's what inspired you to come to this. I'm going to guess that almost 100% of you are going to say no, and that most of you were invited or you came to this because you connected with someone. you genuinely built a relationship, whether it be a friend, a family member, or even a stranger that you just got to know and that you genuinely connected with and felt like you related to them, that you kind of felt them in their experiences and whatever they're going through. And you were like, whatever they're doing is working. And I kind of want to know a little bit more. And that's what this is really about. It is not about selling stuff. It is about being a product of the product. We say this a lot in the business. And it just means that you are staying active, that you are taking care of yourself, that, yeah, you might not be at your goal weight, but you focus on being the best version of you that you can be and sharing your journey with people. So when you mess up, you share that. When you are, off of your plan, or you cheat, or you're having a bad day and you figured out a way to get through that, you share that with people, because that's what people relate to, right? This is a business of relationships, about genuinely connecting with people and inspiring them through that. So one of the things I love about Beachbody is the integrity, is the fact that we're not on Facebook blasting it with all these sales or things that, we're trying to sell. It's, most of us at least should be posting about our stories and about things that we can relate to each other with. So I just wanted to make that super clear, because if you're like me and you hate talking about like selling stuff, then this probably is for you, because you don't have to do any of that. You just have to share your journey with people. So that in a nutshell is hopefully kind of an idea of what it's like as a Beachbody coach, not selling things.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. Yes, no, I 100% agree with everything she said. Yeah, we're not salespeople. We are sharing people. We are all about sharing. And it's not to say you won't find a coach who, what I would say, is doing it wrong and blasting you with that, like, buy this, buy that, it's on sale. But that's not our goal. That's not our mission. Our mission is to help people live healthy, fulfilled lives, whatever that looks like. So even if it means you never sign up to join one of our challenge groups, but it's just that we talk and you get inspired by us, then that mission accomplished, because that's what we set out to do. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next slide. Number 6. So I am not social. I don't know enough people. That's definitely something that we can work through. One of our, we call them our vital behaviors. We have 3 of them. They're just things that we do every day, and they're actually pretty easy. One of them is personal development. So that's something that, we encourage you not just to work on your physical self, but to work on your mental, emotional self as well, to develop yourself as a better leader, to develop yourself just as a better rounded person. So we could definitely work through that piece 100%. I know plenty of coaches. I'm pretty sure the top coach in the entire company, Melanie Mitro, has talked plenty about how she was not a social person and kind of lived in her own little, shell of being a mom and staying home. And, now she's top coach of the company. So it's definitely something that we can work past. Number 7, I don't know how to coach. I'm not even on social media. We're going to hear from one of the panel coaches on that one later, but that is definitely, again, something that we can work past, because top coach, like I just mentioned, she was one that wasn't on social media at all, and now she's top coach in the company 2 years in a row. So just because you're not on social media right now doesn't mean anything for this business. Number 8, it's too late for me to change besides I like my job. Maybe you've spent a lot of years in school to become whatever it is you are right now. And maybe you love your job. Maybe you're like, I have no desire to stay home with my kids, or I have no desire to quit, or I'm so passionate about what I do now. The best thing about Beachbody is that it really can be whatever you want it to be. Like, if you want to do this and still do the job that you do today, you totally can. You can make them be both part of your life. One of my favorite quotes about Beachbody coaching is, Beachbody is not my life. Beachbody gave me life. So, we're really passionate about coaching. I am super passionate about coaching, crazy passionate about it, because it really did give me the life that I wanted. Because of this opportunity, I am able to do the things I want to do, like stay home with my kids and travel more and work towards paying off debt and work with incredibly awesome, inspiring, crazy awesome people. But if you're sitting there, you're the opposite of where I was. I hated my job. I hated going to work every day. Maybe you love it, and that's totally fine. You do not have to give that up. We would never ask you to do that. That's the beauty of this, is you get to decide that. We don't decide for you. You decide. Number 9, I can't afford to purchase and store a bunch of product. Okay, we covered that kind of already, but again, you don't have to purchase and store a bunch of product. The only product you have to purchase is whatever it is you want to purchase. So if you want to buy a program, go for it. If you want Shakeology every month, please do. If you want to try Beachbody performance supplements, go for it. Like that's on you. Like whatever your journey looks like personally for your weight loss or your health or your getting fit, like whatever that looks like, that's what you buy. You do not buy anything beyond that. Oh, and this is one of my favorites. It's a pyramid scheme. Okay, so take a look at that graphic. It's one of my favorites. Just makes me giggle. But it's definitely something that I thought before I knew anything about network marketing or about Beachbody or anything out there. This was exactly one of my thoughts, is it's a pyramid scheme. Just because it's shaped like a pyramid, just for the record, does not make it a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is illegal. Beachbody is in the Better Business Bureau. They're like A++++ or whatever that is. Or AAA. I don't remember how their rankings work, but they're like the top of Better Business Bureau. They are all about integrity. We operate our business with integrity. We would never do anything illegal. We do not make, if you sign up to be a coach, we do not make money off of you signing up to be a coach. Like that is where people get it confused. And there are MLMs, multi-level marketing companies out there that do that, but we do not. So that is not something you have to worry about. That is not how this works. Okay, so why become a coach? We covered a lot of this, but these are a few of my favorite reasons to become a coach. Financial freedom is definitely a possibility. Accountability. So some people honestly sign up to be a coach just to keep themselves accountable on their own health and fitness journey. If you have to be sharing in a challenge group and you have to be motivating people, you're darn well going to want to go out there and, drink your Shakeology and make your salad or your meals, and you're going to want to, press play because they're counting on you. So that's a pretty great piece. The discount is pretty sweet, 25%, it's pretty nice. Making awesome new friends, 24/7 positivity, working out with celebrity trainers, which is pretty awesome, and travel. Military coaches, you get to sign up for free. You don't have to pay that monthly fee. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're thinking right now, I want to sign up to be a coach, I want to get a challenge pack, I'm going to do it all, and a week from now you're like, nope, I don't want to do it, this isn't for me, you can send it back and get your money back. And again, okay, my favorite thing is actually, the better question is why not become a coach? Okay, so we're going to get to the coach panel piece of everything. Which I'm really excited about because this is something new that we're doing. But I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen so I can see everybody. And we're gonna ask some questions of our panel. Can everybody hear me okay? So my computer just did something really weird. Okay. I'm guessing it was just coming out of the sharing screen mode. Okay, so I'm just going to check the chat, make sure there's no questions there because we're moving on to the questions. Yes, Leah, that's a great question. It is free for active military spouses. You just need to submit paperwork. Like they ask you to submit certain, and I'm not a part of the military, so I'm not sure what that paperwork is, but I can talk to you after this and send that to you because I don't know what it is offhand. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in or unmute yourselves right now. But to kick things off, I'm actually going to ask our panel coaches a couple of questions just to start things off. Okay, again, our panel consists of Alyssa Utek, who has been a coach for almost 2 years, right, Alyssa? You can unmute yourself, panel coaches. I believe she signed up in May, okay. April. Okay, well, I'm wrong. Okay, coming up in 2 years. She's a 1-star diamond coach, has an incredible team of leaders underneath her. So she's been around for a little while. There's Brent Berger, who's been around for a few months now. Actually started out as a spouse of a coach. Okay, there's some bad. Wow. Okay. So no, I don't know who's making all that sound. Maybe we should mute ourselves again. Okay, I think Leah. I think it's you. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so Brent actually started out as a spouse to one of our coaches. And then became a coach himself. Leah, who apparently has like a ton of stuff going on in her house, she is a new coach on our team, hasn't even been a coach for 2 weeks yet. And then Laura is another coach on our team who's Emerald right now and on her way to Diamond, which are just a bunch of ranks that you probably don't care about right now, but it just means that you're growing your business. Okay, so the couple questions that I have that I want to start with, Alyssa, I see you're unmuted, so I'm going to start with you. What was your biggest fear before you became a coach, and how did you overcome it, or what was the reality once you got into it?
I so knew you were going to ask me this, and it's funny because I didn't have any reservations. Remember, I was just like, I saw this random post Danielle posted, and I had been doing T25, and I was like, hey, yeah, I'll just do it, sure. And like, it was no big deal because I'm just that type of person. I'll just do whatever. And then, but I had no idea it was going to be like this. I thought, I was like, sure, yeah. So ask someone else that one.
Okay, fine. What about Laura? Where's Laura? I don't see her. She's somewhere.
Right here.
Okay, there you are. Yeah. Okay. What was your biggest fear, and what was the reality of it?
My biggest fear was that I was going to be like spending all this money towards stuff that I didn't want, and that I was going to have to invest like so much money, so much time, and I was going to get myself into something and I was going to get stuck. And it's totally not true. I'm actually making money, which is awesome. And time is a whole separate thing. I mean, the time is fine, but I'm not stuck. And if I wanted to pull out of this at any time, I could, and I wouldn't have any penalties. Just, it would be a huge mistake. But other than that, I mean, that was it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. What other questions? Anybody have any questions? You guys can feel free to pipe in. I'm just asking some questions that typically people have about coaching or about people's journeys. So if you have a question, please don't hesitate to interrupt or to post it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just keep plugging along. Okay. So Alyssa, let me try again because I feel like I need to get you a better question. Okay. So Alyssa is a busy stay-at-home mom of 3 and a successful photographer. So I want to know, you took on coaching, like, how do you do it all? Like, how is it possible?
First, I locked the children in the closet. Then, no, but for real, I don't have a lot of time. Like, honestly, sometimes it's like 11 o'clock and I'm like, I've had to pee for hours and I've had to like do everything for everyone else. But my biggest thing is getting the kids involved. The biggest thing with the coaching is being a product of the product, working out, drinking your Shakeology, eating healthy, all these things that everyone wants to do anyway. But get the kids involved. You'd be surprised how fun they think it is, even though, they don't have any clue like what's going on most of the time. Also, like they mentioned before, power hours. I feel like you can do anything with the business on your cell phone. Everyone has a cell phone, or most people have a cell phone. You can bring it anywhere you need to go. There's times, I'm in line at the grocery store and I'll be like, oh, someone messaged me. I message them back. I'm that way just because I can't have a consistent schedule, especially Finn's only 8 months. He doesn't have a normal time. It's like 20 minutes. So I can't, like, power hours sometimes work, but not always because I don't know when I'll have that exact time. So that just works for me, getting things in here and there. I try to write things down, but to be prepared, Also, you can do as much as you want, like they said. So you don't have to spend 5 hours a day on this, but you can. And I feel like when you're really excited and you really like doing it, it doesn't really feel like work. It's not like you're going to a job and sitting at a desk all day doing nothing. You're doing things that are helping your business. And I feel like when you're working for yourself, that's so much more exciting. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. No, that's so right. And I think, again, that's one of the beauties of this is that you get to decide. So if you're busy and you're doing it on the fly, you can do that. Like that's a great piece of this. Okay, Brent. Okay, so you are the one who was not really on social media prior to this business. So how did you start out without that social media presence? And would you say that affected your success at all?
No, I would not. It's just something that you learn as you go. I actually was not on Facebook for about 8 years, and I happened to go to Summit last year in Nashville with my wife because I was the supportive spouse, and decided, you know what, I'm going to go. I'm going to be open-minded. I'm going to learn as much as I can. And in the midst of that, we met a couple of friends who we ended up staying with at Summit, and they said, hey, you should probably get on Facebook. Like, just do it. And so I got on, and I think at that time I had like a whopping, 50 friends. I mean, I was really popular at that point in my life. And, and then it's about beginning to incorporate, some of the skills that I've been taught along the way by the people that are trying to help me be successful. And one of those things is, inviting people. And I was able to go back and just sort of slowly and steadily, sometimes sporadically, sometimes like click, 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 click. Like, I have all these people I haven't talked to in like 15 years, and I've built up, an amazing group of people, all of which I can pretty much tell you where I know them from, which is crazy. And I went from the 5-0 to someplace between like 2,500 and 3,000 friends at this point. And that all happened since last June. And it's just about consistency, because I was a guy that thought, well, I don't really know anybody. What if they say no? What if they don't want to be my cyber friend? And it's just like, who cares? It's, this is about my business, and this is about me reaching out and trying to expand my reach to try and help people. And that became my driving motive. If I can help people by just simply reconnecting, awesome, let's do it. If they don't want to be my friend, it just wasn't meant to be anyway. So
awesome. You kind of touched on this, so I'm just going to ask you this follow-up question really quick. You were the supportive yet skeptical spouse. So what would you say to somebody whose spouse is maybe a little skeptical about the opportunity?
Yeah. What to say? Go to Summit. That would be the ultimate task. Go to Summit. When Natalie got into coaching, which is awesome because I can see her here on the call right now. It's like Brady Bunch down and a few over this way for me. She got really excited, and for me, being supportive was important and continues to be in that regard. But it was about trying to learn a little bit on my own. And sometimes that can be intimidating, and sometimes that can be terrifying. And I think Danielle touched on it great when she talked about those preconceptions that sometimes get brought up just fundamentally, like the whole pyramid scheme. Because I was introduced to a almost legit pyramid scheme. And I was like, hell no, I'm not stocking this crap in my closet. I'm not doing that. What if I don't sell it, and that was just that. And that was my experience. And when it came to Beachbody, that was what stuck in my mind, this past experience that I had, and I had to just sort of let that go. And I had to be open-minded to trying to learn something different, to be open to what is Beachbody, what is not Beachbody. And I can tell, I see one guy on the call with Amy, yes, representing there. It's just about seeing what it is, and understanding what it is and beginning to get involved and just kind of, giving it a go.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. So I know that's sometimes a concern is, you talk to your spouse, there's this thing you want to do, and then your spouse is like, well, I don't know. And my husband was very similar in that, like, he was supportive yet very skeptical of Beachbody, and now he's totally come around and is all about it. He's not a coach like Brent is or anything, but he's definitely supportive of what this is and what it does. All right, Leah, I'm gonna risk having you unmute because I don't know what that was all about, but you're a brand new coach, not even 2 weeks in. How has coaching changed your life in the last 2 weeks?
Okay, so let me know if it sounds really funny. My dogs are watching TV. Okay, just so they don't eat the rest of my house. It's the only way. Okay, so honestly, I feel like my entire life has done a 180 in the last 2 weeks. Since I finally accepted Danielle's idea that I should become a coach. And I've known Danielle for, 15 years.
A long time.
So it took me a while to trust her, even though I did. Anyways, so I work full time. I go to school full time. I teach on the weekends. Life is crazy. And at my work, I actually just had a job interview, and they just said, you've done from 7 months ago, you are not the same person. And honestly, it's just been over the last 2 weeks because of having this experience of feeling confident in myself and just being with like-minded people. I literally talk about working out all the time, and it's not to sell Beachbody at all. It's because I want everyone to know, I'm singing on the rooftop, how pumped I am about feeling good, because it's taking me years to feel as good. So people have noticed my change. I've noticed a change on how confident I am. Even with dealing with customers, I don't second guess myself anymore. And it might sound crazy that only 2 weeks has done this, but having so much support really hones in on who I want to be. And this is just has given me that opportunity without going back and not wanting to do it. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm super stoked about this call today. So
you talked about how you finally did it. What made you decide to take that leap into coaching?
So I only know a couple of y'all here from high school, but hey, so I'm prior military. I was active duty for 5 years in the Army, and some of the best times of my life. But once I got out, I had nothing left that was defining who I really was anymore, I guess. And so I started getting really depressed. I stopped working out. I pretty much became a hermit and did not want to go out with friends, or people were inviting me to be their friends. And I was, no, I'm going to stay at home, hang out with my dogs. I promise I'm married and I actually do have friends. But, so finally it was just kind of a light bulb. I kept seeing, my friends become coaches or talking about fitness and how, they were able to get off of their medication and whatnot. And I never was open about the fact that I was on medication. But honestly, I even within the last 2 weeks, I've been able to wean myself off of it, just because I've noticed such a big change in my mental status, just for being confident in myself. And like Brent was saying earlier, if they don't want to be your friends, I'm okay with that now. Before I used to get really upset, oh, they don't want to be my Facebook friend. But so it's just wanting to better myself. I'm finally to the point where I'm accepting who I am and I'm ready to change the world through myself. So I guess it was just a wake-up call, seeing everyone else being awesome, and I wanted to be awesome too. So
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That's great. I love it. All right, Laura, I have a question for you. So you also are a busy stay-at-home mom, 2 busy boys. How have you built, you have a pretty successful business already, even though you're relatively new. How did you build that successful business while, chasing those cute little boys around?
Well, I definitely took advantage at first of every nap time because they were napping at the exact same time. So, and I'm not going to lie, in the beginning, I had to seriously talk myself into a power hour every day because I was scared to reach out to people. I had all these crazy fears in my head of this isn't going to happen. This isn't going to work out for me. I'm wasting my time, blah, blah, blah. So I had to talk myself into a power hour every single day, whether it was reading personal development or, inviting people on Facebook or just going through some sort of training. So that's what I was doing during nap time. And then it kind of got into this thing where I was waking up at 5:30 in the morning, which I still do if my little baby alarm clock wakes up every morning. And then early, I'm getting my workout done, getting my Shakeology in, getting it out of the way, doing follow-ups. So it's every moment of my day that I wasn't spending with my kids, I was working on Beachbody because you need to decide how much time you want to dedicate. You need to decide where you want to go with it. And I knew that I wanted to go far. I want to go far. So that's what I'm doing. After the kids go to bed, I'm working on Beachbody, and it's hard sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes they don't want to take naps, or they don't want to take naps at the same time, and that's becoming a routine. Or my 4-year-old doesn't want to go to bed, and it's getting hard. But I still want to go far in this business, and if you want it bad enough, you're going to make time. You're going to get rid of the excuses. So needless to say, I cut out on a lot of TV. In between, you know, what I would normally do on nap times, fold laundry, watch TV, clean the house. I'm leaving a lot of that to the wayside right now because, number one, I have a husband who can help me with that. And number two, I just want to keep pushing with my business. So I didn't realize how much time I was wasting watching TV or going through the Facebook news feed.
Amen. Yeah, no, I hear that. Like that was the same here. Like when I started my business, I was working full time. I have a toddler. I was pregnant, and then I had a newborn. I was moving. We were buying a house. Like I didn't have any extra time in my life. But I wanted this really bad. Like I really wanted that freedom. I really wanted to be home with my kids. I really want to pay off our debt. So it just was something that like I had to make a non-negotiable. I had to make it, you know, like we don't, or if we do watch TV together, I'm working while we're watching, you know, The Office, or that's what we're watching right now. I don't know. But yeah, like finding ways to fit it in, or like I talked about personal development earlier, and like I will listen to podcasts and books instead of reading them because I can listen to them while I'm cooking or making lunch for the girls, or I can listen to it in the car, or I can listen to it while I shower, which, you know, doesn't happen very often, let's be honest. Okay, so chat box, someone had said, Kate had said that she has a sister who's struggling, can't afford the products. How do you get her back? How do you get her on track to living a healthier lifestyle without having her buy the products right away? I want to address this personally. This is what we do. Like, they don't have to buy the products to get our support. We are a free Team Beachbody coach. So I would advise you just to work with her one-on-one, you know, talk with her, offer her support, maybe get her into like we do free groups. Like we will do like free clean eating groups or a free, like a virtual fit club group. You know, like you can chat with, you know, your coach or your coach's coach, or chat with us, and like we can get them into, you know, free groups. Because we do run those because we want to help people. Like that is our goal. And so like she wouldn't have to buy the products to be a part of those kind of groups or to get your support. Does anybody on the panel have any other things to contribute to that? Like Alyssa, Brent, Laura, Leah, do you guys have anything else that you would say to Kate's question? Guys, if you guys are nodding, I can't see you. My screen is froze, so you gotta like tell me.
Yeah, so I actually have some recent experience with that. I have and I may talk about this later, I don't know, kind of my why, but part of my why is the dynamics in my family changed a lot when I went away to college, because I got a sister. I had a sister who was sick, and the way that food was just kind of put on the table was in an effort to try and help her maintain a certain level of nutrition. She had a condition that was misdiagnosed for about 3 years as an eating disorder, and food would go in and it would sit and it would come back up, and she lost a tremendous amount of weight. And so to compensate, my mom and dad would put more food on the table in the hopes that she would eat it, maybe retain something or a little bit more than what she might have, and then that would be okay. Now, that the rationale was okay, but the consequences was that my other sisters who lived at home also were exposed to a lot more food, and they're definitely both, you know, pre-diabetic in that right. One of them actually has recently signed up with the Challenge Pack. She and I actually do size once a week. So I danced my little tail off on Tuesdays with her. And my other sister is a little bit more reluctant, and she's a little bit more concerned about some of the same things, Katie, that you had listed there about the financial stuff. And, you know, and the best thing that I can do is just be her number one cheerleader, you know, and try and get her involved and be there for her in whatever capacity I can be, without being the nagging, overbearing, like, you need to change. Because I know when people have told me in the past that you need to do something different, I'm like, walls up. Like I am my own person. You are not going to tell me what to do. And it's just attitude. And, you know, and so it's about coming from a positive way. And I think being an example of what Beachbody can do for you is very, very important. through your transformation, both physically and, nutritionally and just lifestyle wise, that, you are the product, and that can be very, very powerful. So
I kind of want to add to that too, is, if you don't mind, Danielle.
Oh yeah, go for it.
That I've also have had people come up to me and they want to get healthy and they want to get into just living a healthier lifestyle and whatnot, but they're not sure about buying products. They're not sure about going into this whole Beachbody thing or whatnot. So a lot of times, I'll have them sign up for a free account so they can check it out. And then I'll also invite them to the 21-day fix group so they can see what it's all about, because it seriously is like one of the most amazing groups that I have ever been a part of. Like, that's what really got me wanting to coach, is like all the support and encouragement, and how people were finding so much success because of they were seeing each other's success and all of that encouragement and support. So that's what I like to do for people right away who are really iffy about it, because I'm not going to pressure anyone into doing like a program or buying something if they really are uncomfortable, because that makes me feel uncomfortable. So that's what I do, is try to get them plugged into a group, see what it's all about. And a lot of times they want to do it. Like they're sold, like, so.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah, the challenge groups, they're so amazing for support and encouragement. Like, you just gain that many more people who are behind you and doing it with you. And it's a judgment-free zone. Like, it's totally, everyone's there to help and support and encourage one another, which is awesome. So I hope that answers your question. If not, if she types it, you guys got to tell me, because I can't, my computer's frozen, of course. So just a couple more questions, if everybody's okay with that, just to kind of wrap things up. I wanted to ask Alyssa, if you're still on. Yeah, you're right there. Okay. What is your favorite part about coaching? If you had to pick one thing.
Ooh, I would definitely say the community. All the coaches, it is like a totally different world. It's kind of crazy because it's like 99% like online and on Facebook. So half these people you'd never even have met, but you spend more time with them. Like, I feel like I talk to people like in the little social world, like they're my coworkers, because with my photography business too, I don't have like anyone with me. So I'm always like, yeah, I like live in my computer, and that sounds really ridiculous, but it's more of just like a sense of family, support. Like, you literally don't have to know anything when you sign up, and everyone is just like helping you, like pushing you out of your comfort zone, like Danielle likes to do to me, but for the better. So yeah, definitely just the community and the positivity for sure.
Awesome. Okay, I think we're going to end it there, because I really don't want to go over an hour. But if you guys still have questions, if you think of something after this is over, I'm going to leave that event page open probably through the end of the week. So if you think of something else that you want to ask, please don't hesitate to ask. And we'll be happy to answer you. Or if you had a specific question for someone on the panel, you can post it there or contact them. I'm sure they would be happy to answer your questions. But otherwise, if no one has anything else, I'm so thankful that you guys got on this webinar. I really hope it was helpful, and I hope that you got a lot of your questions answered. And on that note, I hope you guys all have a wonderful night and a wonderful week, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.